Canada just slapped 25% tariffs on some US cars. The new tax applies to American vehicles or parts that don't meet the North American free trade rules, meaning some cars could now cost Canadians thousands more. With Trump also launching 104% tariffs on Chinese EVs today and threatening to raise it 50% more if China retaliates, Canada's response signals it's not backing down either.
Even after yesterday's tariff announcement from the White House, 25% tariffs on automobiles are still in effect, and car dealers are sending out advertisements like this. We have vehicles in stock at pre-tariff pricing. If you have been considering a purchase, act now to get the best value. So that begs the question, how do you know if a vehicle was actually tariffed or if it was imported to the United States before the tariffs? All right, well, we built a free tariff checker. Back on caredge.com/buy, all vehicles will have a no tariff or tariff alert tag based on if it's imported to the United States or if it has final assembly here in the United States and how long it's been on the market. So in this case, this Honda HR-V was imported to the United States and it's only been on the market for 6 days, meaning it was likely imported after tariffs went into effect. Whereas this Civic has been on the market for 37 days, and even though it was imported to the United States, it was imported before the tariffs went into effect. So yeah, know before you go, it's 100% free, and double check any vehicle before you purchase it to see if it was pre or post tariff.
John, you're not going to believe this. I know it's a little messy right now. Everyone's being loud, but everyone's trying to buy the car right now. Look, I got you at $74,680 as the MSRP, $10,000 off at a 4.99 APR. I got you $1,178, exactly what you asked for.
Oh, that's amazing, Chris. What is that?
I need everyone to return their previous pencils. I repeat, I need everyone to return their previous pencils.
Chris, what is that? What are they giving you, Chris?
Mr. John, I'm so sorry. I understand. Unfortunately, we are going to have to be at MSRP, $2,500 above at an 8.99. It's $1,680 a month.
No, this can't be, Chris. How?
I know. I've been telling you to go a little quicker, but you keep
How
going
do you
too
expect
slow.
me to make a quick decision?
This is where we're at.
It looks like I have no choice, Chris, right? Oh, no. Give me the pen.
I'm sorry to do this to you. Here you go.
They did raise the price on the used car we were looking at the very next morning, like they said they would, because we walked away. And they're claiming that there's less inventory out there and new cars are going to have this new price with the tariffs, so used cars are more valuable. And the main reason we didn't like it is we found out that the one owner it had was a rental company. And I feel like with rental companies, you don't know if they change the oil, if they are taking care of the car. A lot of people have been in that car, a lot of miles in 1 year. It was a 2022 and it had 70,000 miles. Why do they create such urgencies at these used car places? And they have a 2-person system. Like, you meet with one person to test drive the car and to talk about it, and then the big boss swoops in and has such a different attitude and is like, I'm here to give you the deal. And I don't like how the big boss was treating the first salesperson that we met with, because the first guy was kind of chill, didn't pressure us. Like, he was trying to sell it and tell us all the features, but he wasn't too aggressive. And then the main guy's like, only today, I'm going to put my initials on this paper. They will honor it. I'm only here once a month. You're not going to find someone that beats my prices. So anyway, overall, do you think used cars will go up in price because of the tariff impact?
Ford shocked the auto industry when they said that they're doing employee pricing for everyone with the tariffs going on. Everybody's talking about raising prices, and Ford makes the PR move of a lifetime by saying they're lowering them. Or did they? I'm not going to make you wait till the end of the video for you to understand if you're buying a Ford now versus buying a Ford 2 weeks ago, you're probably spending more. I'm going to break it down. First off, if you didn't know, Ford is doing their employee pricing for all. They made one of the best PR moves that I've ever seen. When everybody's talking about raising prices, their CEO comes out and says they're lowering them. They are giving employee pricing to everyone. Now, one thing I talk about, what a dealership owns a car for, and employee pricing is not something you should concern yourself with. You should concern what your dealership is willing to sell a car for. Because what you'll learn really quick is a dealership is willing to sell well below that mark at all times. But if a CEO comes out and says they're giving employee pricing for everybody, it makes it a level playing field, which means many dealerships actually raise their prices to get to employee pricing rather than lower them. I'm going to give you two examples, and the first one isn't even going to come from me. It's actually going to come with Spit and Bars selling cars. He's a Ford salesman that works at a one-price dealership, meaning you don't negotiate, you walk in and you pay the price that is on the window sticker. It's meant to be a simpler, easier buying experience. And that's a good thing that dealerships can do that as long as the price is competitive. But this is where the problem that I have. If we look right here, he talks about why do you think this truck hasn't sold? It's a red F-150 STX. In this video, which we'll talk about in just a minute, it's the same truck. This price is below invoice, below holdback, and below employee pricing, and it's priced at $46,000. 2 weeks later, employee pricing came down, and he made a video breaking it down. And this is the oldest truck on his lot, so of course he's making content with it. He wants to sell it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the $46,000 truck is now $48,000. He's literally breaking down, showing you the employee pricing and realizing as a consumer that the price went up $2,000. Now, people are going to praise Ford for doing this, but in reality, this truck was not selling. The market should have dictated this car was below market value because nobody was buying it here. Why would anybody buy it here? It's because it's a PR move, but consumers are spending more while being tricked into thinking they're spending less. Another thing that was not made in the announcement is that Ford was going to cut incentives in a major way. One of the biggest examples of this was the Expedition, where the rebate was cut by $7,000. So even though you get employee pricing on the car, that rebate was way outweighing any price you could negotiate. And dealerships, because the new Expedition was coming, was selling this car way below invoice because they want to get rid of them. I've advertised deals where I got in $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 off. It's not possible anymore because of this change. Manufacturers changed the incentives. Again, PR, this looks nice, but in reality, understand, don't just settle for these prices. You can negotiate bigger discounts. Ford was doing better discounts, and they'll continue to do better discounts. Let competition drive the price down more than anything else. And I'm going to address this for the people in the back of the room that are saying, I'm just bashing this program because it hurts my business. I want to be clear. I did 198 deals last month. 12 of those being Ford. Out of those 12 Ford, 6 of those were Raptors, 4 of those were Broncos, and 2 of those were Mustangs. All of these do not get impacted by the employee pricing. None of them actually qualify for that. So this does not impact my business. I do not care that Ford is doing this employee pricing. We typically get 10% off these cars. You can go do the math for yourself to figure out that 10% is a bigger discount than the 4 or 5% you're getting off with employee pricing. So by all means, I'm here to share the information. I talked about the pros of this program before they talked about the incentives, and I'm going to keep talking about this. But understand, I'm here to give you guys the most amount of information that's possible. I'm not just saying these things to convince you to hire me. You don't need to hire me to get a good deal. You can do this all on your own. You don't need to hire me as long as you know the good tips. Hopefully this helps.
Sir, what brings you out today?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Man,
You ready
nice to see you. Nice to
ready
see
to make
you.
a car deal?
Man, I'm scared.
Why?
You heard about these tariffs?
Yeah, I heard about them. You heard about them?
Yeah.
Man,
Why your voice shake?
because I'm going to make a lot of money.
Huh?
Nothing. The tariffs don't want to affect too much. What kind of car are you looking for?
I was really looking at this Mercedes. Why are you smiling?
Yes, sir. Perfect choice. Perfect choice.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So this right here, G-Wagon, G63. Check her out.
AMG as well?
AMG.
Okay.
Black interior. Can't go wrong with it.
Can't. Right. Yeah. So what's the price?
$250,000.
Whoa.
You better
Whoa.
thank your president.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whoa.
And this is pre-owned.
Whoa.
You gonna do the deal or not?
Whoa.
250,000. Yep. I mean, knew they running for 320.
Huh?
Yeah. So you better off getting this one.
Golly,
Yep.
man.
Yep. I mean, what it's gonna be?
Well, I mean, at least you're saving me a good 70 grand. I'll do it.
That's what I'm talking about, boy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Follow me on the inside.
Okay.
Shout out to them tariffs, man. Terrific prices.
Tariffs just hit the car market hard, and every car brand is panicking in their own way. For those that don't know, Donald Trump has implemented tariffs on cars and car parts that come from outside the country. Now, what that means is cars are going to cost more to bring to the U.S. They're made or imported parts from outside the country. So that means now it's going to cost you more to buy a car, right? Wrong. At least right now, because this is what every manufacturer is doing. Let's start with Ford. Ford said, screw it. We're going to give everybody employee pricing. And when I say employee pricing, I don't mean $1,000 off MSRP. They're acting like Oprah Winfrey right now. You get a truck, you get a truck, you all get a truck. A full-blown red, white, and Buy American sale up until June. So take advantage of that while you can. Now let's go to Toyota. Toyota said, we're not going to bring the price up for everybody. We're going to keep the pricing the same, absorb the costs ourselves, and we're going to find other places to save the money somehow. So Toyota is going to keep their pricing the same for now. Volkswagen went the opposite direction. They're going to actually give a tariff fee to customers. They're like, oh, customers are going to understand, right? I doubt it. And in similar fashion, you have BMW. They said, hey, we're going to protect the prices until May 1st. After that, hey, I don't know what's going to happen. So unfortunately, I think BMW is going to follow in the footsteps of Volkswagen in true European fashion and just bring up the pricing for them as well. And then you have the neutral players. You have General Motors, which is Chevy, Hummer, GMC, Cadillac. They're actually ramping up their truck production in the United States, trying to kind of offset the prices of their tariffs and their costs. That way, they can keep the pricing the same for customers. And I think that's a good idea. Now you have Stellantis, and Stellantis is Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Alfa Romeo. They're actually going to just bring down the pricing on some cars, but they're also cutting the production down as well and firing people. Smile through the pain, if that makes sense. And I don't know how well that's going to work. They're already bleeding to begin with before these tariffs. Good luck to them. Honda actually started moving the production of the Civic Hybrid, which I think is their #1 selling car right now, from Mexico to Indiana. In a way, they were playing chess while everyone was playing Uno. Mercedes seems to be quietly panicking. Based on their projections, there's billions and billions of losses to be had. So I can expect to see Mercedes prices going up over the next couple of months. And then you have the supercars. Ferrari said they're going to come out and just 10% increase. Our customers are rich. They have the money. They'll pay for it. They don't really care. So yeah, tariffs are here. The car market is scrambling and no one really knows what's going to happen. And let me know what you guys think is going to happen next.
Customers are in a panic. There's a frenzy going on. They want to buy cars before the tariffs hit and prices go up.
Mayoli is the owner of several new and used car dealerships in New York and New Jersey. We first visited him at the end of last year.
We first met back in December when tariffs were originally announced. How has your business fared since then?
It's doing great. New car sales are up. Used car sales and prices are up because consumers need vehicles.
But with President Trump enacting a 25% tariff on all imported cars, he expects drivers to see a big price increase.
In this specific dealership, about 30% of the inventory is assembled in the U.S., but parts come from all over the world, so all of them are going to be affected by the tariffs. This is a $77,000 MSRP car, so a 25% increase on this is approximately $20,000.
Mayoli says there's a steady and increased number of shoppers wanting to beat the tariff deadline.
I don't have anything on the ground.
No. We met a couple wanting to avoid the higher prices.
This was the incentive to go a little bit sooner.
Mayoli has stocked up on parts to keep repair prices unchanged for as long as possible.
You have a rotor here and you have a disc and the brake pads are in here. Most of these parts come from Mexico and China.
With the 25% tariff, what could that do to the cost of the brake?
25% increase of the car parts, and you're talking about a 25% increase of the repair. It's going to be another $500 to get your brakes repaired.
More than 50% of cars sold in the U.S. last year were made in the States. But automakers still rely heavily on manufacturing plants in other countries, especially Canada and Mexico. The Trump administration hopes to incentivize more domestic production, but that will take time.
You're talking 2 to 3 year cycle. So we're going to do major damage to the economy and the consumer.
You're a longtime supporter of President Trump.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on how he's handling tariffs, particularly in the auto industry?
Well, listen, if I were to sit at the table with him today, I would ask him to reconsider his position, and I would say that he needs to do this with a carrot and not a stick.
So I posted a video not too long ago about how much I love my 2023 Mazda CX-5. And I gotta say, if you're thinking about buying a car, especially a Mazda, you might want to get on it ASAP. So these auto tariffs are supposed to hit this week, first week of April. And Mazda, unfortunately, is going to be one of the companies most heavily impacted. They produce 18% of their cars in the US. 82% of their cars are produced in other countries, aka Japan. When I bought my car, they told me it is fresh off the boat from Japan. I gotta pick it out, I gotta pick everything in it. Super happy about it. And cars that are produced in Japan have been doing really well. This car was put together really well. I've had no issues. I absolutely love my Mazda. And I thought I bought it at a really bad time post COVID. But apparently it wasn't that bad of a time because times could get much worse. That being said, there's a lot of creators on here telling you they know exactly what's going to happen in this situation. Nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen. You can just make your best guesses based on the information we are given right now. Now, just for your information, here are the cars that are going to be most impacted by being produced mostly outside of the US. Now, a lot of people are going to comment, we need to bring production back to the US. The thing is, even if you believe that, the fact of the matter is, production cannot be brought back to the US overnight. I believe Hyundai Kia is supposed to be opening a new large plant, I think in Louisiana, correct me if I'm wrong, which is great. But that plant's not going to open overnight. So car prices are going to be impacted immediately because the companies can't just eat these costs waiting to move their production to the United States if that's what they're going to do. Another thing is steel and aluminum tariffs are already into effect and already hitting manufacturers. So that will likely have a big impact on prices as well, as cars have steel and aluminum in them. So I am by no means an expert on this situation. I just saw that Mazda was going to be one of the most heavily impacted vehicle companies in this. I love my Mazda. I made a Mazda video not too long ago. So if you are influenced and are looking at Mazda to buy your next car, I would hop on it. I would go get your CX-5, CX-50 ASAP. They are great cars. I love them. Get them while you can get them for $10,000 less than what they might be in a couple years. Who knows what is going to happen, but you can just do the most you can with the information you have at the time. I would love to be cautiously optimistic here, but better to be prepared than to be sorry about it later.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the automakers that are going to be hardest hit by Trump's new tariffs. Now, according to this list that's published by Yahoo Finance, Volvo is going to be hardest hit by Trump's new tariffs because only 13% of the vehicles that they sell in the United States are actually manufactured in the United States. Next on the list, we have Mazda. They only manufacture 19% of their cars that are sold here in the United States. Then we have Volkswagen at 21%, Hyundai Kia at 33%, Mercedes at 43%, Toyota at 48%, BMW at 48%, GM at 52%, Nissan at 53%, Subaru at 56%, Stellantis, which is the parent company of Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, at 57%, Honda at 64%, we have Ford at 78%, and Rivian and Tesla are going to be the least impacted by Trump's tariffs because 100% of the vehicles that they sell in the United States are actually manufactured in the United States. It's definitely an interesting time for the automotive market. I think we're definitely going to see more manufacturing shift to the United States. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Financial knowledge is power. Please like and follow for more.
Here's what to do if you need a car right now. Tariffs are putting some chaos in the car market. If you're buying a new or a used car, you're probably going to end up paying more. So of course you're going to want to buy a safe and reliable vehicle. CR members can go check out to see if that car's recommended. And you're going to see this green logo next to the name. That means the car is safe, reliable, and it's satisfying. You don't want to spend money in a car that you're going to hate down the road or that's going to cost you money in repairs. If everyone else is paying more, you just want to get a better deal than everyone else is getting. On our website, click View Pricing Information next to the car. It's going to show you what people are actually paying for cars. That data comes from our partner, TrueCar, and it shows information from over 12,000 dealers. It's easy to fall in love with a car, but you're going to have to kind of change your plan. If you really, really wanted that luxury SUV, maybe it's time to look for a more mainstream model. If you're looking at a new car, it might be time to look for a used car. You might have to buy one that has a few more miles on it. That's why it's more important than ever to check out the cars that are going to get you to 200,000 miles. Cars can do it these days, and make sure that you get one that's from a brand that's reliable. Finally, one last tip. Dealers love to kind of speed things along. You've got to slow things down. So follow that same advice that we always give. Negotiate the price separately on the car versus your trade. Ask for that out-the-door price that includes all the taxes and fees. If there's any extra charges, if they're trying to sell you an extended warranty you don't want, walk away. Literally, it's the most powerful thing you can do when you're buying a car. You're in charge, remember that.
Tariffs. Let me tell you what I know as it relates to Mercedes-Benz. They have given us some guidance on short-term, medium-term, and long-term what might happen. So I'm going to pass that information on to you to do with as you see fit. So short term, we are keeping things the same for the month of April. No new car price increases, no parts increases. So if you were thinking about buying a car, you might want to get that knocked out this month. Don't wait till next month. And if you were thinking about ordering a new car, maybe find something on the lot that's good enough that you can live with, rather than chancing it with the future. If you were planning to do major repairs on your car, a transmission, brake job, something like that, again, you might want to get that knocked out now before the prices increase next month. Midterm, the prices are going to increase. Tariffs are a big deal. We build cars in the US, yes, but we use foreign-made parts often. And we do build cars in many, many countries overseas. So that we are expecting there will be a significant price increase for model year 26. They said that, significant. So keep that in mind going forward. If you can buy a 25 and be happy, do so. If you can absorb the cost of an increased 26, fine by me. And then long term, Mercedes-Benz can adjust the volume and the model mix. So like we build the GLE and GLS in Alabama. We used to build the C-Class there. We build the C-Class currently in Finland, but we used to build it in South Africa. Could we move some of this around? Maybe, to adjust to the tariff situation. Maybe we get less German-built cars and more American-built cars, but then we can't get the S-Class? I don't know. It's hard to say. That is very fluctuating in the long term. So short term, if you were planning to spend the money, spend it now to avoid the uncertainty. If you are planning to buy one in the next 6 months, know that the market will change and there could be some variation. So that's everything we know now. Make your best decisions with the information you have. Good luck.
Some brands are freezing prices while others are adding fees. What's your favorite brand doing? In case we haven't met, my name's Chasen and I negotiate car deals for people every single day. And I use my expertise on this page to help save you money at the dealership. Auto Trader just released a report showing how every major automaker is reacting to the 25% tariff, and it's all over the board. Let's take a look at the full breakdown. Mercedes, Toyota, and Honda say they're holding prices steady for now, while Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis have locked in their MSRPs through June 2nd. Ford and Stellantis are both offering employee pricing with some restrictions, while Volkswagen reportedly is adding tariffs straight onto the window sticker as an import fee. Jaguar and Land Rover are both trying to decide. They're monitoring things, but they've stopped shipment for now, while General Motors is trying to put more manufacturing back into the United States. As you can see, each brand is handling pricing a little bit differently. So before you go make a buying decision, make sure that you're in the know about what your brand is actually doing. And guys, save this video and share it with anyone that's looking to buy a car so they're informed also. Guys, my name's Chasen. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this. And also follow me for more great car buying advice. Thanks and have a great day.
Many of the dealers there in New Jersey, in fact, many of the dealers around the country, were actually Trump fans, Trump supporters. They voted for Donald Trump in the last election and felt as though he is great for business and can turn things around in our troubling economy that we saw last year. How are they feeling today about their decision with Trump? Are they still supportive?
Yes, actually, I would say they are still supportive of the Trump administration. Really, I have heard zero Trump bashing, I will tell you. And actually, quite honestly, it's been more about some of the folks I feel are like, well, let's give him some runway to see how this plays out. Right. Supposedly you're seeing that the headlines as much as I am about maybe it is a negotiating tool and that some of the countries are starting to negotiate with Trump. And maybe we'll get a better trade in the end. We don't know. So I think there's actually still quite a bit of patience, no matter how much havoc is happening in the stock market and even with our pensions and 401ks. I think right now there's definitely still some patience, which might be surprising to some.
Okay, so this came across my Instagram feed of this dealer group that is paying well over $3,000 to acquire used cars because of the tariffs and everything that's going on. And I've stayed out of this tariff thing because it's been all over my TikTok feed. And the reason I've stayed out of it is because I truly believe that it's a negotiation tactic and hope that it is. I really hope that these tariffs aren't here to stay. But I'm also not in a position to determine if that happens or doesn't happen. But what I couldn't do is I couldn't imagine going to auctions if I'm in the used car side. Now, new car side is totally different because the moment that those tariffs take effect, you're impacted. So I get it. You got to kind of move as the tariffs move. I get that. But being on the used side and going to an auction and paying well over what a car is worth because you're forecasting that used car prices are going to go up. Well, how stupid is that? It will be no different, right? If the tariffs stick and let's say used car prices are going to jump and new supply is going to dwindle, right? It will be no different than COVID, right? You didn't watch that thing sit on a graph and go straight up at a 90-degree angle, right? You watched it climb gradually. It would do the exact same thing. So as a dealer, you do the exact same thing. What you buy a car for, you should already have an idea of what you're going to sell it for. And that number week to week should just gradually start to grow. If it were to happen, again, I completely hope it doesn't. But I have never understood dealers buying into news like this and just going to auctions and paying crazy amounts for cars. Never made any sense to me. If car prices go up and we have to pay more for cars, there's a good chance that cars are going to sell for more. If car prices go down and we pay less for cars, there's a good chance they'll sell for more. This is just how this goes. Just my thoughts, man. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think? And if you're a dealer, are you paying for more for your cars right now? I want to know. Let me know.
Guys, I'm sure you've all heard Ford did the unthinkable. Instead of being profit-hungry sons of bitches, they went ahead and dug a little deeper in their pocket and totally hooked us up. Literally just saying this the other day, like, which manufacturer is going to have the good sense to take advantage of this opportunity instead of spending a bunch of money on advertising to get us in to buy your overpriced tariff vehicles? Dig into your pocket and use that money to offset the tariff and give us more discounts. Genius. Here's the best part, guys. They're doing employee pricing. They're aggressive employee pricing. So it's their best deal really they can give us. I am so beyond excited right now. I think it's very important to remember that these discounts are coming from the top and the dealerships will honor the discount, but it doesn't mean they still won't do dealership shit. Because you're getting a big discount right out the gate from the manufacturer, the dealership is going to be even more likely to add crazy fees, add-ons, and things you wouldn't want to pay for. So still do all your shopping from the phone. Don't just run out and think you're going to get this great deal. Do all your calling first. Of course, all this information comes in total opposition of the other companies out there that are going to be suffering from the tariffs. You're going to actually see them raising the prices of the ones that are on the ground that don't even qualify for the tariff, that have nothing to do with the tariff. And they're going to say, look, these are a little bit more expensive, but these tariff ones are really expensive. So this will still seem like a good deal, even though they just raised the price on this. So be careful, guys. That's going to happen at a lot of dealerships. And the same rules I just said before apply here. Do all your calls. Find out before you go in. Don't just head in and think you're going to get a good deal, because now more than ever, it's going to be harder. As this month progresses and I'm helping my clients get the best deal in this new market, I'm going to keep you guys informed as much as I possibly can on what brands are screwing with me, what brands seem to be doing the right thing, and which dealerships are being shady. So stay tuned for all of that. And guys, for more tips, tricks, and hacks just like this one, please follow Billy the Car Kid.
If a dealership tells you that prices are going up because of tariffs, should you believe it? Let's talk about it. If you guys don't know, my name's Tommy and I negotiate car deals for a living, and I talk to over 500 dealerships on a monthly basis. I've heard it all. And one of the things that I've been hearing recently is that prices are going up because of tariffs, or they can't negotiate because of tariffs. So I want to talk about the tariffs and talk about what you should do if you hear that exact phrase. First off, understand that sensationalism sells. If I say the car market is crashing or tariffs are going to ruin the world, that is going to do a way better video or a way better headline than saying everything's going to be okay. But on this channel, I just want to talk about the truth, what we expect to see, because a lot of dealerships are starting to use this line. Hey, I'm sorry, you can't negotiate the tariffs. But there isn't much truth to this as of March 21st. I know people are gonna wanna make this political, and I'm gonna see it over here, but in reality, I don't care about the politics. I talk about the facts. And if I don't address this or say, you know what, all the prices are going up, and you go to negotiate a car deal and you hear that from a dealership, you're gonna believe it, because I told you that prices are going up and now the dealerships are confirming. The truth of the matter is, As of March 21st, no manufacturer has said that their prices are going up because of these tariffs. On the contrary, we have heard that prices are going to stay the same. For example, BMW said with the cars that are made in Mexico, those cars are staying the same. And if there's any increase by tariffs, they're personally going to eat the cost. There are some experts that are saying that car prices might raise $4,000, 25%. These are all crazy numbers that are being thrown out. But these are the same experts that predicted the car market has been crashing for the last 4 years. So calm down a second. Understand that prices may raise. That is something that could happen, but as of right now, that has not happened. So if you hear that at the dealership, do not fall for that. Do not allow dealerships to say tariffs are coming, so prices are increasing so they can hold extra profit, because they're utilizing this in order to make more money off of you.